Welcome to episode 34 of the Reality Podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and also ring those bells for all notifications. So I'm at work yesterday. And Brad Shepard sent a tweet. He obviously got this from the Steve Austin show that he had that interview with Tony Kahn. On the Steve Austin show, Tony Khan confidently called AEW's Double or Nothing one of the greatest wrestling pay-per-views of all time. Considering the entire history of pro wrestling pay-per-views, World Wrestling Entertainment, WCW, ECW, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, etc., etc. Does anyone agree with that? Now, Double or Nothing was a great show. Was it a perfect show? No. It wasn't a perfect show. It was a great show nonetheless. It got you wanting more AEW. It got you wanting more All Elite Wrestling. Now, AEW has two more pay-per-views. Two more events before All Out. They got Fyter Fest. And they have Fight for the Fallen. And then they got their next big pay-per-view, which is All Out on August, before they go to TV in October. If you was to ask me, as a wrestling fan for over 20 years, was AEW's Double or Nothing one of the greatest wrestling pay-per-views of all time? I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion. I don't care who I trigger. I don't care who I piss off. But if you was to ask me, was AEW Double or Nothing one of the greatest wrestling pay-per-views of all time? It can be. Now, when it comes to indie wrestling, you can say that, yes. But you can also say as well, oh, AEW Double or Nothing was one of the greatest wrestling pay-per-views in the 21st century. You can say that. You can say that as well. You can say that. Now, like I said, it wasn't a perfect show. It was a great show nonetheless. It wasn't a perfect show, just know. Was it a great show? Yes, it was. It had its flaws. And it didn't have its flaws. For example, I can give at least two examples right there and then. One thing about Double or Nothing, and I said this in my head. One of the things that I didn't like about Double or Nothing was the music was too low. I listen, when I was hearing, everybody's theme songs coming into the ring, you barely heard their theme songs. You barely did. Now, I'm sure to the people in the arena, you heard the music, but the people live watching on pay-per-view, we couldn't barely hear the pay-per-view. The theme songs. We couldn't barely hear the theme songs. We couldn't barely even hear it. That was one flaw. The other flaw, which is the biggest flaw of them all, was the commentary team. Excalibur did a great job. JR did horrible. The other guy, what's his name? Alex something, I forgot his last name. Alex, horrible job. Excalibur literally put them in a fucking, in their bag. In his bag. And carried the entire fucking show. Which I gotta give props to Excalibur, by the way. Gotta give Excalibur some props. I do. But to call AEW Double or Nothing one of the greatest wrestling pay-per-views of all time, you can say that. It's his opinion. He has every right to speak his opinion. He has every right to speak his opinion. He does. He really does. Now, obviously, Tony Khan is not going to say anything bad about Double or Nothing because of the simple fact that he's the president, he's the owner of All Elite Wrestling. So he's not going to sit there on the Steve Austin show and he's not going to say anything bad about it. He's not. I mean, why would he? Tony Kahn is one of the biggest wrestling fans you can ever meet. You can ever see. He has every right to speak his opinion. But I want to know from you guys down below in the comment section, do you guys think that AEW's Double or Nothing was one of the greatest wrestling pay-per-views of all time? I say, in some levels, yes. In some levels, yes. The matches were fucking fantastic. Especially Dustin versus Cody was the match of the night. For me, at least, it was the match of the night. It was the match of the night. The Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks were fantastic. Jericho versus Omega, it was great. Really great matchup. But the one thing I didn't like was the fact that we barely got to hear their entrance music, and the commentary team was just fucking terrible. So let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think about AEW's Double or Nothing being one of the greatest wrestling pay-per-views of all time. Do you guys agree or disagree? Sound off down below in the comment section. I wanted to open up the podcast with that piece of information from Brad Shepard because I figured, I told myself, I want to start the podcast with a topic, so I might as well start with this. It's the perfect topic. I was reading it on my Apple Watch, and I was like, maybe I could use this for the podcast. So there you go, I did. What do you guys think? Do you agree with what Tony Khan said about Double or Nothing being one of the greatest wrestling pay-per-views of all time? Do you agree or you disagree? Sound off down below in the comment section. Now, let's get to the sports part of the podcast now. If you're a Yankee fan, let me know down below in the comment section if you're a Yankee fan. Let me know. Let me know. Now, the Yankees now, they've won 7 in a row. Aaron Judge came back yesterday. James Paxton did really, really well. If the season was to end today, who was my American League MVP? Gary Sanchez. And I'll tell you why. Yeah, sure, you got your Mike Trouts. Yeah, sure, you do. Mike Trout is, in my opinion, one of the top 5 best players in the MLB right now. Factual. Complete factual. Mike Trout is in my top 5 list right now of this generation in baseball. There you got Aaron Judge. You got Gary Sanchez. You got Gleyber Torres. You got all those young guys in the league right now. Those are my top 4 right there. Trout, Judge, Sanchez, and Gleyber. If you was to ask me who was my MVP, if the season was to end today, who was my American League MVP? I'm going to say Gary Sanchez. The guy is a fucking monster. Gary Sanchez, my God, yesterday, he hit a 481-foot home run. And I said this to one of my coworkers. He almost broke Aaron Judge's record by 14 feet. Judge, 2 years ago, hit a 495-foot home run in Yankee Stadium. Sanchez last night hit a 481-foot bomb. Sanchez has one of the greatest arms a catcher can ever have. He's great on defense. His arm is just unbelievable. His bat, listen, I said this the second Sanchez got called up to the major leagues. If he can stay healthy for 1 year, he's going to hit above 40 home runs. He's going to hit above 100 RBIs. And he's going to bat around 300. 300, 320, depending who you talk to. Gary Sanchez right now is my MVP of the American League. Right now. Yeah, but you got your Mike Trout. Yeah, you do. You got your Mike Trout. You got your fucking Xavier Bogaerts. You got your fucking Mookie Betts. Yeah, you do. But you got to mix Gary Sanchez in there. Gary Sanchez is in there. And by the way, 2017, yeah, I'm going to go back 2 years ago. I'm going to go back 2 years. To this day, I'm still jacking the fact that Aaron Judge should have won the MVP award in 2017. Clearly, he won the Rookie of the Year. Unanimously, he won the Rookie of the Year. unanimously, he won the Rookie of the Year. He should have won the MVP. He broke Joe DiMaggio's rookie home run record with 52. With 52. Hit over 100 RBIs. The reason why Jose Altuve won the MVP 2 years ago was because of his batting average. You mean to tell me that Judge should have won MVP that year? No question. He got the Rookie of the Year. Oh, that's no question. MVP? Judge should have got MVP in 2017. Should have. I just wanted to name that there. But the Yankees, man, the Yankees are the best team right now in the Major Leagues right now. The Yankees are right now the best team right now in the Major Leagues. No cap. No cap. No fucking cap. I dare anybody to fucking argue with me about the Yankees. Anybody. Seriously. I really want to know. Hold on, I gotta text Jessica. Give me a second. Oh boy. Okay. So we got the Yankee talk out of the way. Let's talk about basketball. Real quick. I want to know down below in the comment section, who is your favorite basketball team? I'm not ashamed to say this. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm not ashamed to say this. But I must say, the Knicks did well in the draft. So did the Lakers. So did the Pelicans. So did the Grizzlies. But I'm going to say this right now. Free agency for basketball in, what? Another week and a half? Almost a week from now? The 30th? 6 p.m.? Can June 30th, 6 p.m. come any quicker? Come any quicker? There is a lot of free agents right now in the NBA. A lot of free agents. AD just got traded to the Lakers. Congrats to you, all you Laker fans. Congratulations. The Raptors won the NBA championship. Congrats to the Raptors. Congrats to Drake. The Six. Congrats to everybody else in Canada. I'm sure TakeOver fucking Toronto's gonna be fucking amazing. This free agency can go really, really good for the Lakers, or not so bad. Because there were rumblings going around saying that Kyrie Irving was gonna sign with the Brooklyn Nets. There was news today saying that Kyrie never liked Boston. He hated living in Boston. That's why he upped out of his contract. Left Boston. Left Boston after what, 2 years? 2 years. Well, technically 1. Because he was hurt for one of those years. I said this to my good buddy Kevin and everybody else that's a Laker fan. If Kyrie Irving goes to the Lakers dynasty is going to begin. Do you know what that team is even building right now? The Lakers are trying to take off all this cap space, trying to take off all this money, clear up more cap space, try to sign another max player. If they can sign Kyrie Irving, I'm going to say this right now. Remember this video, remember this tweet. If the Lakers land Kyrie Irving, LeBron already has a ring already. LeBron already has a ring. I'm going to say this now. If the Lakers sign Kyrie Irving, the Lakers are your next NBA champion. The Warriors, let's see how Curry carries that whole team. Because KD's gone. No one knows the future of KD after his ruptured Achilles. Klay Thompson tore his ACL during Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Let's see how Stephen Curry carries his team. If anything, I got the Warriors next year. There's no way the Warriors are making the playoffs. No, not the playoffs. I mean, they'll make the playoffs. There's no way the Warriors next year is going to make the NBA Finals next year. No way. No way. You know who Curry has? He has Iggy. He has Draymond, depending if he comes back. And Boogie, DeMarcus Cousins. If he comes back. They're moving into a new arena too, the Chase Center. They said goodbye to Oracle Arena during Game 6 of the final. They said goodbye to that building. It's a whole new era for Warrior fans. Well, what's left of Warrior fans. Because now that the Lakers got Anthony Davis, all those Warrior bandwagons that left Kobe and the Lakers went to Golden State, they're going right back to LA. If you're a Warrior fan and you're a part of the bandwagon, stay in Golden State. Stay there. Stay in Golden State. Stay in Golden State. Now, I'm a Knicks fan, so I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm a Knicks fan. Yeah, I've been there through all the struggles. You know how good it would taste if the Knicks finally won a championship? You know how good of a feeling that would be? It's like saying the fucking Rangers won the fucking Stanley Cup Finals. Seriously. It's going to have that bittersweet taste in my mouth. Let me say this now to all you Laker fans. If Kyrie Irving signs with the Los Angeles Lakers, everybody, and I mean everybody, is going to want to go to LA. Now, obviously, the Lakers need a shooting guard. They need a bench. So I wouldn't mind them signing, a J.J. Redick off the bench, a Jimmy Butler off the bench. Hell, if I'm LeBron, talk to your banana boat buddy Carmelo Anthony, tell him to pull up to LA. Fuck it. Melo, come off the bench, Melo. Simple. Simple. So that's it for the basketball stuff. That's it for the sports talk here of the podcast. But I'm going to preview and predict some Stomping Ground, or from what fucking Storm said, Sleeping Ground. Fucking hilarious, by the way. I'm going to preview and predict Sleeping Grounds tonight on this episode of the podcast. And also, I'm going to go over all my news that I have here, because tomorrow is Sunday. Tomorrow's Stomping Ground. I'm not going to give you guys episode 35 of the podcast. I'm just going to give you guys a simple review for tomorrow. But if you guys don't know who I am, I'm your boy Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel on a Saturday, June 22nd, 2019. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. If you guys are enjoying the podcast, hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought of the podcast. What you guys thought of what Tony Kahn said. What you guys thought of the sports talk that I mentioned here to begin the podcast. And if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below in those bells, guys, for all notifications, as I am 6 subscribers away from 100 subs right here on the channel. Episode number 33 of the Reality Podcast, live on the channel right now. That was uploaded yesterday. War Wrestling Entertainment's plan for Baron Corbin's guest referee at Sleeping Grounds. I mistyped Stomping Ground by mistake. Link to episode 33 of the Reality Podcast is live on the channel right now. Link to this video will be in the annotation that you see on the upper right hand corner of your screen. Check out Throwback Thursday, SummerSlam 2013 reviews live on the channel right now from Throwback Thursday. Triple H turned heel, Orton cashes in Money in the Bank. Link to Throwback Thursday will be in the annotation that you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Check out NXT review as well. Damian Priest arrives in full force. I can say this right now. NXT right now has surpassed 200 viewers. 200 views on the video. So I appreciate every single one of you guys with 14 thumbs up. I appreciate every single one of you guys loving that video. Link to NXT review will be in the annotation that you see on the upper right corner of your screen. Check out Monday Night Raw review as well. Did you guys forget that tomorrow there's a pay-per-view called Stomping Ground? Sleeping Ground. I apologize. Sleeping Ground on Sunday. Link to Raw review will be in the annotation that you see also on the upper right corner of your screen. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you are connecting with your boy Chris on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring, and if you guys want to follow me on Snapchat, it's completely optional. Follow me on Snapchat at Chris Most Hated. And if you guys are enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button down below. Ring those bells, guys, for all notifications. Let's begin with episode number 34 of the Reality Podcast right here on the channel. We're going to begin, guys, with Stomping Ground news. Now, if you guys know about Stomping Ground, or should I say Sleeping Ground on Sunday, which is tomorrow night, from Tomoka, Washington, is going to be a complete sleep-inducing show tomorrow night on the WWE Network. WWE employees want Stomping Grounds to provide a clean slate. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Stomping Grounds is this Sunday, and although there might not be a ton of people on the Tomoko Dome for the show, it turns out that the company producers have a bigger plan. Brad Shepard reports that his source has told him that the company producers want Stomping Grounds to provide a clean slate. This is something that the company might be able to use right now, especially during a time when so many people are chattering about AEW Backstage. This is what Brad Shepard tweeted, and I quote, "The source noted that producers/agents wanted this weekend to provide a clean slate. I'm told there has been a lot of AEW chatter since Double or Nothing among the superstars." End quote. Sunday will be the first ever Stomping Ground event, so hopefully they'll make it worthy of a sequel. World Wrestling Entertainment could be planning something special, but they could also use a clean slate. What type of clean slate, Vince? Huh? Give me a second here. What kind of clean slate, Vince? I would love to know. What kind of clean slate? Is it the simple fact that Stomping Ground is technically Remax Grounds? Because I said this yesterday on the podcast on episode number 33 yesterday. You look at the card for Stomping Ground. How many of those matches? How many of those matches are rematches since WrestleMania? Four. Roman versus Drew. WrestleMania. Dolph versus Kofi. Super letdown. What else do you have here? Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. Money in the Bank. And what was the fourth rematch for fucking Stomping Ground? What was the fourth match for Stomping Ground that was the fucking rematch? Hold on. Let me look up Stomping Ground's card real quick. Let me look it up. Give me a second here. Let me look up Stomping Ground card. Give me a second here. Because right now, Vince wants a clean slate. How? Let's look at the card, shall we? Oh, that's right. Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin for the Universal Championship. With Baron Corbin as a special guest, with the special guest referee. Super Showdown. You got 4 matches on this card that we've seen since WrestleMania. Money in the Bank, and fucking Super Letdown. Roman versus Drew, WrestleMania. Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans, Money in the Bank. Rollins versus Corbin, Super Letdown. And Kofi versus Dolph Ziggler, Super Letdown. The only 2 matches I'm looking forward to in this card is Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Heavy Machinery for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, and Samoa Joe versus Ricochet for the United States Championship. Why? Simple. It's fresh and new. Fresh matchups, obviously. I look at this card for Stomping Ground. It's like a fucking. It's like they're not even trying anymore. They're not trying. You do know that AEW is around the fucking corner with Double or Nothing. No, not Double or Nothing. With fucking Fyter Fest, Fight for the Fallen, All Out, and then the weekly television show in October. How many times do I have to say this? Many, many times. And I'm sick and tired of saying it because I sound like a fucking broken record. It falls on deaf ears. Vince has till October to write better shows. If not, you might as well hand the company down to Triple H and his team down in NXT. You might as well do that. Speaking of NXT, I can book right now in my head, as it's flowing on my head, I'm going to book NXT's championship main event card between now and TakeOver Chicago, or possibly TakeOver Tampa in April for WrestleMania weekend. So there you go. I don't know how employees want Stomping Grounds to provide a clean slate when it's fucking main event galore on Stomping Ground on Sunday. Yeah, try that. Try that. Oh my God. Another, from one irrelevant thing to another. Women's tag team titles not even being mentioned in backstage meetings. I wonder why. Morale isn't the best thing right now in World Wrestling Entertainment. We previously reported that a number of superstars have already reached out to AEW. This might be damaging a lot of people's mindsets down the card. Brad Shepard reports that the women's tag team titles aren't even being mentioned in meetings. This has brought some to suggest that they might as well be deflunked. Obviously. Look who's holding the fucking championships. The fucking Iconics. Speaking of the Iconics, speaking of the women's tag team championships, another daily reminder. The Iconics are the most worthless team in company history, and the women's tag team championships are the most worthless pieces of garbage in WWE history. Salty, triggered, pissed off, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Stay mad. Stay mad. On top of that, Daniel Bryan and Rowan are repeatedly pissed because the momentum has been pretty much halt as well. Let's see how the Washington fans treat Bryan on Sunday when they're in his home state of Washington. This is what Brad Shepard tweeted out, and I quote, "The source continue calling everyone a mess at the moment. They said the women's tag team titles might as well be deflunked because they hardly ever brought up in meetings. Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan are pissed because they've been on a standstill. Yeah, on a standstill. Yeah, on a standstill." End quote. This is the big troubling, especially considering the fact that the company reportedly wanted to put more of a focus on the tag team division. Yeah, sure. Even after introducing women's tag team titles, it hasn't seemed to help much. You ask yourself this question. Who are the women's tag team champions as of right now? Who are the women's tag team champions? The Iconics. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, right? You wonder why, and this is one of the most main reasons why I say this. The Iconics are fucking garbage. They are a dumpster fire. When it comes to fucking Iconics on Raw or SmackDown, I mute the television set. I mute the TV set. I grab my fucking remote and I change the fucking channel. The Iconics are channel-changing garbage. Look who you're pushing in WWE. Look who you're pushing. You're pushing Shane McMahon. If you people really think that Shane McMahon is the best in the world, you are a fucking blithering idiot. That's just facts. If you are either a Shane McMahon fan, an Iconics fan, a Roman Reigns fan, a fucking, what you want to call it? What else you want to say? If you're a fan of the fucking Boston Red Sox, if you're a fan of the fucking Golden State Warriors, if you're a Jets fan or a Giant fan, you have a fucking problem. Just facts. Just fucking facts. Oh, but Chris, why are you mentioning sports teams? Because I can. It's my podcast. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Triggered, mad, salty. I don't give a shit. Seriously, what more do you want me to say? What more do you want me to say? The morale is not the only thing. It's the biggest thing. It's the biggest thing. It's morale. People are not truly invested in what they're doing right now. You wonder why people are not invested in television. For example, SmackDown, if I can pull up the fucking article, I was looking at this while I was at work earlier yesterday. Tuesday's episode of SmackDown Live drew 1.859 million views on USA Network, down from last week's 1.930. Why aren't people watching SmackDown Live? Because it's the same shit every single week. It's the same shit every week. I'm going to say this now. The more World Wrestling Entertainment suffers, the more AEW grows. That is fucking facts. The more Vince suffers, the more Tony Khan grows. The more Vince suffers, the more fucking Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega grow. And Brandy Rhodes grow. Hell, I'll even do this. The more Vince suffers, the more Cody and Brandy's dog Pharaoh grows. It's fucking facts. And people want to defend this fucking shit on a weekly basis. Are you guys getting paid from Vince? No. Are you guys getting a small commission out of Vince's pocket? No. Speak the fucking truth. Open your fucking eyes. Us smart fans, we want to see professional wrestling. How come AEW can do that in one show? How come NXT can do that on every takeover? I said this on Wednesday night's NXT review. The first half hour of NXT was better than 5 hours of Raw and SmackDown combined. And look who's running NXT. Look who's the general manager of NXT. Look who's the NXT champion. Look who's the NXT Women's champion. Look at the North American champion. Look at the NXT Tag Team champions. What do everybody, all those champions in NXT have in common? We're all invested in them. We're invested in Adam Cole. We're invested in Shayna Baszler. We're all invested in the Velveteen Dream. We're all invested in the Street Profits. And also, look who's the NXT UK champion, Walter. What do all those champions have in common? We're all invested in them. We're all invested in them. We care. As wrestling fans, we care. We care. And if you cretin and if you're a fucking degenerate and you don't see what real professional wrestling is, don't watch the fucking product. Stop watching. Stop watching. Because I'll be damned if I have somebody come at me on Twitter and say, oh, if you don't like it, don't watch. Suck my dick. Suck my dick. Seriously. 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 It's a spit in the face to everybody who's been watching wrestling since they were a fucking child. It's a spit in the face to everybody who wants to see real professional wrestling. The fact that you people support the 24/7 championship really does tell how the fuck you really see about professional wrestling. It really does. It really does. It really fucking does. If you people support the Iconics, if you people support Roman Reigns, if you people support Shane McMahon, if you people support the 24/7 by God championship, you're a fucking loser. You're a fucking loser. And if you support the fact that there's speculation that Shane can beat Kofi for the title, if you're gonna support that shit, do me a favor. Lock yourself in a fucking mental institution. Throw away the fucking key. Because you do not deserve to watch professional wrestling at all. At all. Speaking of the company, World Wrestling Entertainment Backstage atmosphere described as utter chaos. I wonder why. I wonder why, people. I wonder why. WWE Superstars are with the company for their own reasons. Some seem to just be there at this point because they signed a contract with the company. Brad Shepard reports that the backstage mood in WWE isn't very good right now. Not only in the company ignoring titles and meanings, but other superstars are considering too much to their personal lives to care. Samoa Joe is reportedly just in it for a paycheck at this point, but he has always been a businessman. However, other superstars who have titles are still reportedly being crybabies backstage. All of this is apparently amounting to absolute chaos backstage. This is what Brad Shepard tweeted, and I quote, Samoa Joe is adamantly just along for the ride, and Bayley and the Revival are still being crybabies, even with the straps. They described it as utter chaos. We'll have to wait and see, well, end quote. We'll have to wait and see how things play out. We have heard that things are crazier backstage than anyone would guess at times. Everything started with this whole crybaby backstage bullshit with Sasha Banks and Bayley. Everything started with that. Everything started with that. When you're pushing somebody like Shane McMahon, you know there's a fucking problem. You know there's a big issue when Shane is being pushed. And I said this last week on the podcast when we were discussing Shane McMahon possibly beating Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. If this happens, I'm done with World Wrestling Entertainment. I'm done. I've said this last week on the podcast. Last week. If Shane McMahon beats Kofi Kingston for the WWE by God Championship, I'm done. I am no longer a WWE fan. I'm not. Because you know what's going to happen in the end? When Shane, let's say for example, this happens. Shane beats Kofi for the championship. Let's say, for example, that even happens. You know who's going to beat Shane for the championship? I'll give you a clue. Leukemia. I'll give you a clue. Leukemia. Roman Reigns is going to beat Shane McMahon for the WWE Championship. Like I said, folks, we're in for a long summer. But we got NXT to hang on to, so we're good. We got NXT to hang on to. We got AEW Fighter Fest and Fight for the Fallen and All Out to hang on to. So the bright light at the end of the tunnel is good. It's good. It's going to be a long summer, folks. A very long summer. Very long summer. What else do I have here on the podcast, man? What else do I have here? It's a bunch of news here. I don't know what to even go to. It is that's a bunch of news. Let me see if I can find the Shane McMahon thing. If I can really find it. Oh, did you guys know? I don't know if you guys even know about this, and I doubt you guys even care. R-Truth crashed Drake Maverick's wedding and won the 24/7 championship. I have no idea. Yeah, people support this shit, though. Just know. Yeah, people support this garbage. I don't want to tell you. I really don't. I really don't. Keeping with the Stomping Ground news. The company had total lack of planning behind the scenes for Stomping Grounds. Just look at the ticket information. Look at the fucking seating chart for Stomping Grounds. It's on episode 33 of the podcast that was up yesterday. It's there. Look at it. Stomping Grounds is this Sunday and it might be a great night for Baron Corbin, but the ticket sales have not been stellar by any means. Stomping Grounds is on his cups of breaking a very sad record for the company. Brad Shepard later elaborated as his source reportedly explained to him how bad it was in regards to preparation and promotion as well. This is what Brad Shepard tweeted, and I quote, "The source further elaborated that there has been a total lack of planning behind the scenes going in the Stomping Grounds, even noting employees employers are getting yelled at. They asked if I knew how bad you would have to fuck up for pay-per-view ticket sales to be this low. Did you guys know that Stomping Grounds is the lowest sale for any special event since Starrcade on November 25th of last year? Starrcade wasn't even a pay-per-view. It was a house show. Starrcade was a house show last year. I'm not sure if you guys remember. They did put it on the network. I believe they did. I asked, continuing with Brad Shepard's tweet, I asked the same source what the company felt was the cause for low ticket sales for Stomping Grounds, and was told they believe it's due to lack of proper build because of Super Showdown and fans saving to make the trip to Canada for SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver. End quote. These are still things that the company could have avoided if it was the case. You think? After all, it is possible to put together a show at this time, at the same time, and share promotion because they've done it before. We'll have to wait and see what kind of show the company is able to deliver at Stomping Ground tomorrow night. But so far, the hype has been less than outstanding. Just look at the card for Stomping Ground. Research Stomping Ground, Max card on Google. Look at it. Look at it. Fucking garbage. Except for 2 matches. Ricochet versus Samoa Joe for the U.S. title, and Daniel Bryan and Rowan against Heavy Machinery for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. That's it. That's 2 matches I care about. That's it. Now, speaking of NXT TakeOver, I'm going to try and build between now and NXT TakeOver Tampa. So there you go. Now, there was a report going around saying that Matt Riddle was not gonna be part of TakeOver's card. Was not gonna be part of TakeOver's card, of Toronto's card. Now, I think by now you guys know this by now, but I will say this though. Matt Riddle's not part of TakeOver Toronto. He's not. Why? Simple. There was a report going around saying that his attitude on social media has been out of place, has been all over the place. And at the same time, you know, Triple H has this in mind. The simple fact that Matt Riddle is not going to be competing for a championship at TakeOver Toronto really does speak volumes, because people are behind Matt Riddle. I'm behind Matt Riddle. I'm sure you guys are behind Matt Riddle. Everybody else in the NXT universe is behind Matt Riddle. It's just that his attitude on social media has right now bit him in the ass, to the point where he doesn't have a match at TakeOver Toronto. He doesn't. As of right now, of course. We don't know what's going to happen in the long run. But here's how I'm booking the NXT Championship between now and TakeOver Tampa. I don't think anybody else in the community is even thinking about this. But you guys do know that Tommasso Ciampa is cleared for non-wrestling activities. It's only a matter of time before Tommaso Ciampa comes back and gets Goldie back. Now the question is, Chris, obviously, how do you book Ciampa to win back the NXT Championship? Simple. Adam Cole's the NXT is right now the NXT champion, correct? Here's how I'm booking TakeOver Toronto. Adam Cole will defend the NXT Championship. Prediction! This is not a spoiler. This is my prediction. Cole will defend the NXT Championship against, let's say they book Cole versus Gargano versus Riddle in a triple threat. A lot can happen between now and TakeOver. A lot can happen. So they can book a triple threat match for the NXT Championship between Cole, Gargano, and Riddle. Or, and I can see Triple H going down this route, I would have Cole versus Gargano 3. This time at TakeOver Toronto. Gargano beat Cole at TakeOver New York. Cole beat Gargano at TakeOver 25. You gotta have the rubber match at TakeOver Toronto. And I can see Triple H doing this. Now, are you gonna complain about a Cole Gargano 3 at TakeOver Toronto? I'm not. Just look at the first 2 matches that they did. TakeOver New York and TakeOver 25. Look at those 2 matches. You expect, and I'm gonna sit here and expect a bigger match at TakeOver Toronto, a better matchup at least at TakeOver 25. Because Triple H, it's been reported that Triple H is gonna go all out, literally and figuratively, for TakeOver Toronto. You might as well book Cole and Gargano again, number 3 this time, for the NXT title. I would book Gargano to win the NXT Championship. Then, and only then, Gargano wins the NXT Championship. He takes the championship to TakeOver Chicago in November. Survivor Series weekend. You can put Gargano versus Riddle at TakeOver Toronto. You can do that. Or you can book Gargano against the winner of the breakout tournament that they're doing starting NXT next week for the NXT Championship. The finals, I'm going to assume, the finals will be at TakeOver Toronto with the winner getting an NXT Championship match of their choosing. It will be either the North American or the NXT title. I'm going to predict that the winner of the NXT Breakout Tournament will go after the NXT Championship. Gargano will face the winner of that tournament. Gargano retains the title. Out of nowhere, Tommaso Ciampa comes back and stabs Gargano in the back again. Or you can do this. Gargano wins. Gargano retains the championship at TakeOver Chicago. Ciampa comes back without the neck brace. Ciampa comes back. He congratulates Gargano. They go walk on the stage and everything else. You recreate what happened in 2017 at NXT TakeOver Chicago. Backlash weekend. 2017. Remember when Ciampa stabbed Gargano in the back? This time, the roles are reversed. Yet Gargano turned heel on Ciampa. Now, the only question I'm asking, do you see Ciampa as a babyface in NXT? No, I don't. You don't. That's the only flaw in this storyline. That's the only flaw that would have Ciampa come back and compete for the championship that he's never lost. So, you recreate what happened 2 years ago at TakeOver Toronto with, this time, Gargano stabbing Ciampa in the back. And yet Gargano as a heel, a full-fledged heel, going up against Tommaso Ciampa. You can easily go your road for Ciampa and Gargano at TakeOver Tampa. WrestleMania weekend next year. And that's how you have Ciampa win back the NXT Championship. You already told the story with Gargano at TakeOver New York. You already did that. Now it's Triple H's job to tell the story on Tommaso Ciampa's comeback story. Oh, Ciampa had serious neck surgery. This surgery could have ended his career. You guys do know that this neck surgery that Ciampa had could have ended his career. What a story that would tell. If Ciampa came back from neck surgery when many people said that this surgery would end his career. He comes back to NXT, wins the NXT Championship at the biggest takeover of the year next year in NXT TakeOver Tampa. What a story that would tell. At the same time, the reason why Gargano was NXT champion, well, the reason why Gargano won the NXT title was because the simple fact that he wanted to finish that story with Ciampa. Gargano could have gone up to the main roster now. He could have. He could have gone to the main roster. He could have. But he decided not to. Now, with that match between Cole and Gargano at TakeOver 25, it was either Gargano going to retain the championship and Cole was never going to win the NXT title? Or was it the right time to give Adam Cole the NXT championship? I think, in my honest opinion, that was the right time to give Cole the NXT championship. It was either TakeOver New York or TakeOver 25. You give Cole the NXT title. Because Triple H could have gave Cole the NXT championship at TakeOver 25, only for Gargano to win the championship at TakeOver Toronto. And then from there, you build that story when Ciampa comes back. Regardless what could have happened at TakeOver New York, either Cole would have won it, Gargano was going to win it at TakeOver Toronto. Gargano was going to win it at TakeOver Toronto. He was going to win regardless. From what I'm booking here. But think about it, folks. Just think about it. TakeOver Chicago. Ciampa comes back. Ciampa congratulates Gargano. Ciampa's the babyface. Only for Gargano to stab Ciampa where it hurts the most. On his back. Now Ciampa is the babyface of this. No, now Ciampa is the 2017 Gargano. And the Gargano is now the 2017 Ciampa. Think about it. Just think about that. Wouldn't that be a better story than what they try to do with fucking Gargano? I think it would be a much, much bigger and better story to tell. Ciampa's comeback? I'm full invested in that. I'm fully invested in this. And you can do one better. You can up the ante just a little bit. You want Ciampa and Gargano's rivalry to end? You need an end to this rivalry. You need an end. There's an old adage that states, to every beginning there's an end. You book Ciampa, Gargano, NXT Championship, NXT TakeOver Ciampa? No, NXT TakeOver Tampa? Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell. I said this time and time again. Ciampa is the Triple H, and Gargano is the Shawn Michaels of the rivalry. Nothing but facts. Nothing but motherfucking facts. Now I'm trying to find this Shane McMahon article there. I'm trying to find it here, and I can't really find it for some odd reason. I really cannot find this. But if I find it, I'm just gonna report it for you guys. I would read it for you guys right here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go one more here before I find the Shane McMahon thing. Tommaso Ciampa. Speaking of Ciampa, there's news on Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa shows off progress 15 weeks after neck surgery. Tommaso Ciampa was taken out of action right after his main roster call-up. This was a terrible time for neck surgery because it was something that they knew about in NXT. Possibly, if Vince McMahon would have asked Triple H about this issue, an issue could have been avoided. Ciampa got his neck surgery and announced during the NXT TakeOver 25 kickoff show that he's now 100% clear for non-contact activity. He's obviously taking advantage of that as well. The former NXT champion posted a video of himself in the gym and he's doing some real work. He might not be taking bumps or lifting a ton, but that process to recover from a neck surgery can take a bit more time. It appears that he is well on his way back to the ring at this rate. This is what Ciampa tweeted. 15 weeks post-op. How's recovery doing? Hashtag #BayBay. The fact that Ciampa used the hashtag #BayBay is also not just saying he hasn't lost focus either. He wants Goldie back, and Adam Cole is currently holding the NXT title. We'll have to wait and see when Tommaso Ciampa is able to get back to the ring, but it looks like he is on the right track. It's only a matter of time before Ciampa comes back. If I was to make a suggestion here on when Ciampa comes back, take over Chicago. if I'm Triple H right now, I would not even rush Ciampa to come back. I wouldn't even rush Ciampa to come back. And I'll tell you why. And I'll sit here and tell you why. In every injury, there's a setback. Anybody can suffer a setback. You don't want Ciampa to suffer a setback to a point where he's back in the fucking injury reserve list for much, much longer. So if I am Triple H right now and I'm thinking about this as well, I wouldn't rush Tommaso Ciampa to come back. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't rush Ciampa to come back because A, he can suffer a setback. B, you don't want your best guy in NXT to be out much longer than what he anticipated. So, my honest opinion there, I wouldn't rush Ciampa. I really wouldn't. So, like I said, if I'm Triple H, let it be. Let him be. Let it be at this point. I'm trying to click on this other. I found the Shane McMahon topic. There you go. Now I'm going to do this one more piece of evidence before I do the preview and predictions portion of the podcast here, where we're going to preview and predict fucking Stomping Grounds. Should I say Sleeping Ground? I am out of place here. I am 56 minutes into this podcast. You're welcome. Shane McMahon's push reportedly infuriating WWE Superstars. Shane McMahon took a long break from the company, and everyone was very excited to see him return to the company just a few years ago. However, now we have way more Shane McMahon on television than any fan expected we would in 2019. There is currently a rumor going around that Shane could be set to take Kofi Kingston's WWE title. While this is just a rumor, it seems to be growing concern within the within the WWE fan base. I can't even talk right now. Shit! Fightful Select reports that there is growing frustration backstage in the company over the amount of time Shane McMahon is getting with his push. Shane McMahon isn't being personally criticized, but the situation has been described as infuriating. We have not heard of Shane being criticized personally, but the decision is heavily featured Shane McMahon in the middle of a wild card scenario that is already limits screen time for others is infuriating. End quote. It was also noted that the fact that Shane McMahon doesn't work WWE house shows is also a confusing point, considering how much attention he's receiving on screen. Boris Entertainment isn't pushing a lot of talents who work the role, but instead, Vince's son is getting a lot of focus on television. This isn't fair, and although the word nepotism wasn't specifically used in Fightful's report, there is no better word that can properly describe what's going on. I've said this before. If Shane wins the WWE Championship, I am done with WWE. I'm done. There's no way in hell you're going to book a 50-year-old Shane McMahon to beat Kofi Kingston for the WWE title. There's no way. Only for Shane to drop the championship to Roman Reigns? I was watching off the script yesterday, and JD really set this apart there. It's a possibility. The more this rumor grows, the more of a possibility it's going to happen. For Shane to win the championship from Kofi Kingston really does spit in the face of Kofi Kingston's win at WrestleMania. It does. It does. I bet nobody's saying this on their podcast, on their reviews, on their videos. If Shane McMahon beats Kofi Kingston for the WWE by God Championship, this will spit in the face to not only Kofi Kingston's title win at WrestleMania, this spits in the face to everybody who has held the WWE Championship. It will spit in the face of Edge, Triple H, The Rock, Austin, Angle, The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. The list goes on and on. The list goes on and on. Shane does not need to win the WWE Championship. Simple. He doesn't. He fucking doesn't. And I hope at this point it doesn't even happen. I hope it doesn't. Because if it does, SummerSlam review, and I'm gonna predict this. If Shane beats Kofi for the title, it's gonna be at SummerSlam. And I can tell you this right now. SummerSlam review is gonna be one of the most fucking uncensored, unfiltered reviews you will ever see on my channel and on this fucking platform known as YouTube. I am dead fucking serious. I am dead serious. The news portion is done. We're going to go ahead and now review, preview, and predict Sleeping Grounds. Sleeping Grounds. Now, I have the card on my phone here. Bayley versus Alexa Bliss for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Simple. I got Bayley retaining. The reason why I say Bayley retains is because Alexa is a Raw superstar. Why would a Raw superstar win a SmackDown title? Why? Fuck the wild card rule, or should I say fuck the Roman Reigns rule? Fuck it. Bayley, I got Bayley retaining the SmackDown Women's Championship. Roman versus Drew. This is the rematch that we've seen from WrestleMania. Roman won at WrestleMania. Drew's winning on Stomping Ground. Because of who? Shane McMahon. The quote-unquote best in the world. Shane McMahon. There you go. There you go. I got Roman beating Drew. No, I got Drew beating Roman. I apologize. Roman won at WrestleMania. I got Drew winning on Stomping Ground. Don't care. Becky versus Lacey. This is a rematch for Money in the Bank. Simple. What makes you think Lacey Evans is going to win the title a second time around? I got Becky retaining. Simple. I got Becky retaining. Rollins versus Corbin for the Universal Championship with, to be announced, as a special guest referee. I'm going to say this right now. Don't be surprised if Brock Lesnar is the special guest referee for this matchup. Don't be surprised. Why? Because A, Stomping Ground is not selling tickets. B, Stomping Ground needs a big name for this event to sell tickets. Why not bring fucking Brock Lesnar? Why not bring Brock Lesnar as the special guest referee? And on top of that, Brock has the Money in the Bank briefcase. He could cash in tomorrow night if he could. Or should I say, if he wants to. I got Rollins retaining the Universal Championship. And if Brock cashes in, there's going to be either Lesnar wins the title or there's going to be some sort of fuck up that Lesnar does not win the Universal title. So there you go. Kofi versus Dolph in a steel cage for the WWE title. Again, this is a rematch for fucking Super Letdown. Or should I say Stupid Showdown. What makes you think Dolph is going to win it a second time around? Same thing for Corbin, same thing for Lacey. What makes you think they're going to win a second time around? They're just not. I got Kofi retaining the WWE Championship. What does Kofi do after Stomping Ground? I don't know, and I don't care. Kofi's title reign has just been a waste of time. Yeah, sure, it was a good moment at WrestleMania. It was a good feel-good moment at WrestleMania, but still, who cares now? When you have Kofi Kingston as your WWE Champion, flipping pancakes and throwing pancakes and gyrating over the fucking ring, is that your champion? He's not mine. He's not mine. I got Kofi retaining the WWE title. This is the match I'm looking forward to the most. Samoa Joe versus Ricochet for the United States title. I can see Ricochet winning by DQ. I can. If anything, I got Ricochet winning by DQ. Joe retains the title, and then they can have a rematch at Extreme Rules in Philly in July. It's the truth. I wouldn't mind seeing a Extreme Rules match between Ricochet and Samoa Joe for the U.S. title. I wouldn't mind it. I think it would be a really good match. This match, I think, is gonna be good. Give these two men 15, 20 minutes, they'll steal the fucking show. Especially with Ricochet. I don't see Joe losing the title. I got Ricochet winning by disqualification. But Joe will retain the U.S. title. The New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods going up against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I don't care for this match. I'm just going to pick the New Day. New Day will beat KO and Sami Zayn. Triple threat match for the Cruiserweight Championship between Tony Nese, Akira Tozawa, and Drew Gulak. I got Tony Nese simply retaining the title because I love me some fucking Tony Nese. He's fucking amazing. Drew Gulak, amazing. Akira Tozawa, amazing. I just got Tony Nese retaining because there's no point for him. If he's the best in your division, he shouldn't be losing the title. Shouldn't. Finally, guys, we got Daniel Bryan and Rowan going up against Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Now, I think this will be Daniel Bryan and Rowan's first title defense, if I'm not mistaken. But going up against a team like Heavy Machinery, this is a match I'm going to look forward to. I love Heavy Machinery in NXT. I love the work of Daniel Bryan and Rowan as well. I love it. Who I got winning this matchup? Easy. I got Daniel Bryan and Rowan winning. Simple. I got Daniel Bryan and Rowan retaining the SmackDown Tag Team titles. It's not Heavy Machinery's time yet. If anything, I'm booking Heavy Machinery to win at SummerSlam, if anything. Possibly they'll book like a fatal four-way tag team title match featuring these two tag teams. I'll probably put Heavy Machinery to win at SummerSlam, but I'll have Daniel Bryan and Rowan retain at Sleeping Ground tomorrow night. So there you go. I'm going to go over the results again. I got Bayley retaining the SmackDown Women's title. I got Drew beating Roman. I got Becky beating Lacey again. I got Rollins beating Corbin. Kofi beating Dolph. Ricochet winning by disqualification over Samoa Joe. The New Day beating KO and Sami Zayn. Tony Nese retaining the Cruiserweight Championship. And I got Daniel Bryan and Rowan retaining the SmackDown Tag Team titles. So there you go. That is my preview and predictions portion of the podcast. And that is it for episode 34 of the Reality Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, please hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought of the podcast. Leave a comment down below about the Tony Kahn topic, saying that Double or Nothing was one of the greatest wrestling pay-per-views of all time. Do you guys agree? Also, leave a comment down below. What are your predictions for Sleeping Grounds tomorrow? I'd love to know your comments down below. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Ring those bells, guys, for all notifications for daily wrestling content. Episode 33 of the podcast live on the channel right now. Throwback Thursday live on the channel right now. NXT and Raw review also live on the channel as well. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you're connected with me on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring, and Snapchat, optional. If you guys want to follow me on Snapchat, it is Chris Most Hated. And like I said, if you guys are enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button down below. Ring those bells, guys, for all notifications. I will see you guys tomorrow for Stomping Ground review tomorrow. There will be no episode 35 of the podcast. That will be next week. But I'm off before the All-Star break. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share the video all over social media. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Stomping Ground review. Or should I say Sleeping Ground review. Till then, talk to you guys later.